Hi everybody, this is Ina and thank you so much for coming. I want to show you my latest tack journal. I just completed it. Here I used a Copic stitch binding. It just didn't come out perfect because it was my first time, but it's quite strong and it'll hold the book together nicely. As you can see here on the front, I used different ephemera pieces some fellow crafters have gifted me with. Here I used foreign language book pages, and basically this book has 6 signatures. I made them from very thin cardboard, which I covered with craft paper. They're very similar, and as you can see, the back side is decoupage too. They each have a really big pocket here, and I lined those with pages from an old calendar. Then each signature has a little envelope, a tuck spot, and a big pocket on the top. And the tuck spot goes around, and there's one on the other side as well. And I also added the little paper clip with a little bit of fiber to give a little embellishment to the cover because I didn't want to put any more strain on the spine. So I had these pretty lace stickers, and I used them to embellish the pages a bit, as well as washi tape. When I covered my thin cardboard, I had to do a little bit of cut and paste from my craft paper, so there was a seam on each of these pages, and the washi kind of covered it up nicely. I also added a bit of art paper up there and a little cutout. So as you can see, I've already have quite a few goodies in there, and I want to show you a little bit how I made this, what I used. Oh yeah, first the closure. I used very simple 2 little clips. I connected a little chain, and there's a little extra piece. So should this book get really bulky, I can lengthen the chain. So this book was made from scratch. It was not an altered book cover. I actually used the back of an art pad, and I cut 2 pieces for each part of the cover. The one I covered with a pretty red napkin, the other one with book pages. Then I glued them together, and they're very sturdy. And after I put the signatures in, I also distressed the edges a bit, as I used all kinds of different paper. It made it look nicer. And the envelopes, I gave them a little color and this little stamping. I actually numbered them just for the fun of it. So I would like to show you how you could make something like this or similar, maybe not with a Copic stitch, but you can look that one up online, but rather a very simpler, smaller version of a tuck journal. I like to use this little manila envelope. I've made a couple of these journals before, but this one is tiny. It's only 6 by 8 inches, and it fits a normal printing page. I've folded in 4s. As you can see, I took the envelope and I covered this with napkins a little bit in the opening as well. I used Mod Podge. You can use matte or glossy as you prefer. So this thin paper wouldn't be suitable for pockets, so I cut to the same size some craft paper. And this one has print on both sides, which makes it, of course, way easier, way simpler. Not a lot of cutting and gluing at all. And I want to show you how you can also make some pockets very simple. Okay, first you fold it so you can see how it would be a signature in your book. And by folding in the corners, you can make 2 of these big pockets. I have those in my book as well. Or you can make something really simple where you just fold up the bottom and you have 2 pockets that way. Just have to glue the edges a little. Another possibility would be to just use the double page as a pocket. One on the top, one on the side. I will show you how to do these. So for the big pockets, I like to give a little cutout. I think it looks nicer and it's also easier to reach in. So now all we have to do is close them, one on the top so you have a side pocket, one on the side so you have a top pocket. Very simple. So there is already one done. Now this one you could just glue it the way I folded it, but it's not really necessary. It makes it just a little bit too bulky, so I took a piece off, but gave it a little edge just to make the pocket a little more sturdy. And then you just glue it down. This is a very quick project. If you ever had to make a few of those for whatever occasion you may need, a dozen on the quick, you could do this very easily. So here is another page ready. And then this one, really, you wouldn't have to glue anything if you didn't want to, but I like to glue just the bottom corner a little bit. And the flaps, well, you could cut them, you could glue them, or you could just leave them. They really don't go anywhere, and it works just fine. So now we have our 3 of them together, and because I'm only using 3 and it's a tiny book, you can put them inside of each other. Even though they're sturdy pages, they line up pretty nicely. There we go. Pretty cool. Now when I was cutting the paper for these, I had some leftovers, and so you will see in a moment I decide to make some pockets for the pages who don't have any pockets. So there will be lots of possibilities to put little goodies. So here are all the leftover pieces, and so I'm just going to go ahead and make some simple tucks and pockets. You will see this will go ahead a little bit here, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It's very simple. Actually, I went ahead and I varnished the cover a little bit to make it a little more sturdy. So here are my tugs. One there, one on the bottom there. There's a little corner one. There's a flag one, small pocket there, and a little belly band. So very simple. Now all we need to do is sew it in there. Now if you like to write in your journals as well, you could always insert writing pages. If you have a few, you might consider doing 2 signatures. In this case, I'm just going to stick with tugs and pockets only, and just 1 signature. For this, I'm using very simple craft yarn and just a big needle. You can use pretty much anything. That was baker's twine, that works well. You can use even dental floss. It's very strong and it's very easy to sew with. So because it's such a small book, I'm thinking of just doing a very simple 2-hole binding. So see, it's 6 inches, so I'm going to go in just 1.5 inches and mark the spot with a pen. In this case, bright orange, because the background is so dark. So I can find those. And then you line up your signature so they have a tiny little edge, because of course they're tiny little smaller than the cover. And this works very well with a simple book like this. Now I was looking for my awl. I have a really good one, and well, I couldn't find it. So my sharp scissor had to come to the rescue to poke the holes. And well, it works, but it's not the best. It's okay for these very simple pages. So clipping it together helps to keep the pages aligned and makes it easier to sew, so they don't, move around too much. So try to make it fairly tight so it doesn't have a lot of extra room. There we go. Very simple. And it's already done. So now you have a cute little tuck journal. And it would of course need a little closure, something very simple because it's a simple journal. So I found this piece of red ribbon, It's very thin ribbon, and I'm trying to see if it's long enough. It should go around twice in order to make this kind of closure. Oh, yep, long enough. So to attach it, I'm simply punching a hole where I think the middle is, more or less. And so just attach it to this, and then it goes around twice. Once, twice, and then you can just tuck it under. Now for it to go in easier and also to stay better, it's nice to put a little charm on it, a little weight. And so I found this little silver star, not silver, but silver colored metal stuff. And I just tie it to the end. Make sure you make a knot first, then the star, then another knot, so your little charm, whichever one you use, will not slide down the whole string. There we go, very simple. So now, because of the weight, when you tuck it in, it's easier and it will stay. So now your little book has a closure. So I will show you one more time, because I'm hoping you found some ideas in here which will be helpful, either for a little book like this, or you can use it, of course, in any other book as well. You can, of course, vary the pockets and the colors and everything and make it your own. So as you can see, there's lots of room, especially these folded pockets are very roomy. Of course, the tugs are a little tighter for smaller things. So you have quite a few big pockets and then a few more smaller, tighter ones. There's a little one here. Oops, doesn't fit that way. Anyway, lots of pockets. So there's a nice big one here, and then of course, oh yeah, there's still the belly band, and then there is this really big pocket from the envelope, which holds a lot of things. So here you have it. You have a cute little tuck journal. I like these a lot because I have a lot of little goodies I like to keep safe, and I like to have in a way that I can find them easy when I want to use them in my art. So this one will probably be a gift, but I have two more. And so here's the big one and the little one. Well, I hope you really enjoyed this. I hope it gave you some new ideas, some inspiration. Have fun. Bye bye.